Today we're taking a look at the complete lineup of Spigen for the iPhone 15 Pro and letting you know which ones are the best. These are all about 20 to 35 price range, and the only ones that are missing are the optic armor and the cryo armor. But I had these in my hands with the S23 Ultra and generally dislike these cases, so I've decided not to review these ones at this year's round. Today we're looking at the classic C1s with the whole old iMac look, the Mag armor, the Enzo Aramid case, the Core armor, the popular Ultra Hybrid 01, the Slim armor, the Ultra Hybrid clear case, the Tough armor and the Rugged armor. So let's start off with the C1s. Now, like I said, they're going for the old iMac look, and I think it looks very interesting. I like it. It kind of reminds me of the Ultra Hybrid one, where you can look through the design. But here, there is a little more depth to it as well, instead of like an image printed on there. The material choice here, I'm not so sure of. It's like a hybrid in between silicone and regular clear cases. Then to put the case on, you have to remove this bottom part here, and then you can put it on. Click the case on and then click this bottom part back on too. And once you do that, this thing is not coming off anymore. It's a bit too tight. Even without that bottom part, it's just not practical to get this case off. Ever. But that's fine. I mean, there's probably a lot of you that never or rarely remove their case anyway. But just be aware of this. Now, when it's on there, it makes your iPhone even more rounded than it already is. And the buttons are a little harder to push. So that's not good in my book. Especially the mute button, which is very hard to push. The front lip is very prominent because they made the choice to make it silver and thick, which looks cool and unique. For falling, this would also be good. MagSafe charging is good and there is no issues here. But the strength of it could be a little better. Not bad at all though. So definitely improved over their cases from previous year. The camera bump is very tiny, even smaller than MacBag. And sometimes I can barely handle the stress of having to drop my phone with that case on. If your iPhone falls on the area around the camera will probably be damaged here. But let's be real, we've all purchased this one just because it looks so unique and cool. And it comes in a few colors too. Ruby, Bondi Blue, and lastly, Graphite. Yeah, that ain't going nowhere. Then the Core armor. Fit is excellent. Love the unique design in the back and it's grippier because of that for sure. Decent front lip means good protection for drops, but sadly, the camera bump is small again. It's the same issue again here as with the C1s. Buttons are very good on this one though, so not all is the same. Now for the negatives. Its design is very blocky, so straight edges, and the material is sharp to touch at these same edges. So I can imagine this being an issue over time. Then something I've seen before on other cases too, like the Gripzilla, is that the grippy material on the sides is at the bottom as well. And here it will irritate your pinky finger, where it rests on more than you know. Especially with those sharp edges I just mentioned. MagSafe charging works fine. And the magnet strength is good as like a 7 out of 10. It's such a good feeling when your case slaps on there easy, but it's also easy to remove as well.
They ask you how you are and you just have to say that you're fine.
Then the Mag armor. This one is one of the more sleeker cases and feels very comfortable because of it, as it kind of follows the body of the iPhone 15 Pro with its slight roundings. It has a good front lip for the protection of the screen, and the back has this unique design, but on the renders it definitely looks more badass once again. The buttons are very clicky. Surprisingly actually, since we just went over two designs with different levels of clickiness. The camera bump is still the same story though, so they're at least consistent with their small camera bump so far. Oh, and MagSafe, same strength, about a 7 out of 10. Moving on to the Enzo Aramid case. This definitely feels more premium than the others. It's strong, not flexible, and the shiny silver details are gorgeous. It has a soft cloth inner, which states that it's genuine Aramid. Now, I'm no expert on this, but it seems they use aramid fiber instead of something like carbon fiber because carbon fiber is so much more expensive and thus it wouldn't be viable for the consumer, which makes sense. But trust me, these cases feel very strong already. I really like this case. It feels premium, it feels tough, as if your phone is actually safe. And the silver details go well with the natural titanium color. There is no weird sharp edges on there, and the rounding of the case seems to be done much better, because I cannot feel the edges here. The camera bump is still very small though, so that would be my only negative this time. Great case. Then my favorite Spigen case from the S23 Ultra lineup, the Ultra Hybrid 01. Due to the double stickers, it gives the illusion of a 3D inside part design, which is very cool to see, and the material of this case feels like a grippy clear case, but with black smoked edges, which is better because they won't yellow over time. It also gives a tough look, which I can really dig. The fit could be better though, and I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, that wasn't easy. And the design on the back is just great. The buttons are very clicky and the fit is excellent. And the fit is excellent. It felt like it was a smoother experience before, and it's still easier than with the C1 cases. So there's that. Good front protection, same small camera bump, nice and clicky buttons. Although I will say that the mute button is harder than the volume button to click. Same magnet strength, and thus I can say it's been overall improved on the Spigen lineup. And lastly, wireless charging is also no issue. Then finally, the legacy cases. And I call them that because they've been around longer than I've been doing these videos. The tough armor, the ultra hybrid, the rugged armor, and the slim armor. The fit on all of these is really good. They slap around the phone nicely and are overall good cases for what they are. But the slim armor feels cheap. The sliding system that's made for cards can be broken very easily. The protection level therefore is nothing special, and I feel like your money could be spent better. The tough armor is at first glance really different, more like a UAG case than Spigen. The buttons are nice and thick, it feels strong with that backplate and the soft bulky edges. But then the whole shtick with this case is the kickstand, which is absolutely laughable. Just very fragile, and it feels like it would break the second you look at it. So skip this one too. The Ultra Hybrid is the same case as with the 01. So a good case, and basically no differences other than design. Keep in mind though that these will probably yellow over time, like most clear cases do, and not just with Spigen. The rugged armor is probably the best of the legacy cases. It feels nice in your hand, and other than this small camera bump, no complaints. But for 23 euros, I still think there's better choices out there. And that's a wrap. I hope this video helped you out with your purchase decision. Now, I did reach out to Spigen for some review cases. Unfortunately though, they probably saw this coming and took their chances, which is understandable. So that means I purchased all of these with my own money, and the total price wasn't cheap. So if you want to support my channel and the work that I do, please use my affiliate links if you saw one you liked, or make a small donation of $1 million with the super thanks on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.